Hello and welcome to a Letter to My Children podcast. This is where we give insights of industry-leading professionals, also good-looking couples like Mark and Jess in front of me, to tell their story, share wisdom and actually just help the future generations or people out there that are struggling with bits to achieve more. So I'd like to welcome Mark and Jess.
Thank you so much. Hello, everybody listening and watching.
So Mark and Jess have travelled down. They're often based. They're based up in Manchester. How comes? Well, let's go back to the start. How did you guys meet?
Wow.
Wow, this is a story that not many think and not many would guess. So most people think that we met in a gym. Most people think that, don't they?
Yeah.
They met in a fitness environment, but it was probably the opposite of that kind of environment. It was a ravey night.
Yeah, for anyone in Manchester, it was the Warehouse Project, and everyone needs a dance now and again. And we was at that stage of our lives when we was dancing and raving.
Yeah.
It was like behind the kind of thought process of that. It was just like a part of our lives. I think speaking about where I was like in full, single mode and didn't want anything else, and it was just party. And I think you was the same.
Yeah.
But anyway, we met in a good fun night, and then since that night we didn't stop. We just like kind of met up every single night, every single day.
Yeah.
Didn't stop talking, and then literally from there it's been non-stop.
It's been like 9 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
Almost.
9 years. 9 years deep.
Yeah. So that's it. We met there, and it's been it's been a journey. It's been a lovely journey so far. And yeah, obviously we're both I'm sure we'll speak about it. We both kind of like fitness, liked health, but like it wasn't
such a huge part of our lives back then as much as it is now. Especially on my side of things. When we met, you were still PT in the gym?
So I was a PT. Always done PT kind of thing. Always kind of like being into fitness. Just I would say a regular PT. Just earning money, training clients, going on, blah blah, which was fine. But then you was.
I was working full time in an office in marketing, and I did that for like 8-9 years. So that's kind of when we started. We weren't really like as a couple both doing fitness at the time. It's definitely evolved with us as we've been together.
So did you end up learning the coaching side of it from being with Mark, or is that?
So this is something that Mark will try and say yes. Yes, Mark helped me with that, but it was something that I decided to go into on my own. It's something that I was always passionate about, but I never really thought I could do it as a career. So for me, like it's been a very much different path into fitness compared to say you when you were into it.
I saw the light in her where she loved training. She maybe not like again knew absolutely everything, but she liked training. She always pushing herself, always like the mindset as well, always trying to be better. And then I think it just worked out.
It just became something that I was like absolutely like obsessed with and loved, and I just never thought I could really do that as a career. And then maybe kind of meeting Mark, it kind of gave me that inspiration that I could do that as well. So for me, it's been a huge journey changing from a job completely into a new industry.
Out of interest, why did you feel like it couldn't be that?
Right, couldn't be that. I think that was a lack of confidence in me. I didn't think that I could be someone like a fitness girl. I didn't think that I would be able to do that as a job. I used to look at other girls on Instagram and look at their followers and how like in amazing shape they were, and I never thought that that could be me. But now the craziest thing is people probably look at me and think that. So it's.
But I think it was environment as well. So obviously your environment was always. This is what people do. People go to work, they go 9 to 5, they have the lunch together, they do this, they go home. That's your people. That's the people. Sorry, not your people.
That was who I was surrounded with.
Yeah, that was your.
Yeah. So I mean, it's that thing, isn't it, where like it's your environment that kind of dictates what you go on to achieve. And I think because I was in an environment which was very much a 9 to 5 office job, there was not really like any kind of progression outside of just working up that career ladder. That was all I knew, and I never really knew I could go and do something like that I do now.
Did you find as well from your side of things, obviously meeting someone who was in marketing, that helped you just see opportunities?
100%, yeah. So
it wasn't just the good looks.
not just that, and she could dance all right as well.
On that night, it was just strictly just dancing.
Yeah,
There's not really much else.
So yeah, listen, it was great. That's why it worked well when we did come together. It took a few years for you to kind of like understand actually there is a career out of this. And again, the fitness industry is always growing. So when I started doing online coaching, probably 7 years ago or something like that, you know, it wasn't where it is now. So like I think as it developed, and then as COVID came in, it was just like a really easy transition, wasn't it, kind of thing.
The industry's changed, hasn't it?
So then that was when it was like, because obviously I didn't see her, what she did at work. She went to work and did that, and obviously I knew what she did. So then when it kind of came together, and I knew how kind of clever she was in that phase of work, we linked up and it all worked, and my Excel spreadsheet skills have gone up because there was non-existent.
No, it was a massive, like, I mean, you've seen me go from like having all those nerves of leaving that job and that career, because, you know, I built my way up in that career. I was, you know, a manager, I had a team, and I had a good wage, and I just felt that, like, I almost felt a bit trapped to leave that. And you saw me kind of go through all those emotions of deciding to move out of the industry, and obviously supported me through that. But yeah, it was difficult. Like, it was very tough. And you saw like all the ups and downs and the crying and coming home from work, being miserable, and like you saw all of it. You saw all of it.
Step into the light. No, I totally get it. Like,
you gave me that, obviously, that confidence as well to go and make that change. I think
it was just because I'd seen how focused you was anyway, regardless if you got into fitness or you got into anything, you know. I've just seen the type of girl you was, and it was just like, there's no worries. No worries whatsoever. So that's what
go back to that point when you started realising this is all actually going to really click.
So
was there like a big moment where you two suddenly went, hang on, we've got something enormous here?
So initially we sat like separately, didn't we? So like obviously Mark was, you know, coaching. I just moved out of my job,
and like half. So
I very much I was very much scared to leave my job, and it took kind of that gradual me leaving and building up my clients to then realise, no, I can do this. I can actually do this. Initially, what I did is I dropped down and just worked. Didn't have the Fridays at work, and then Fridays was like my best day of the week. I absolutely loved it, and I was like, oh my God, this could be like my job. I could do this every day of the week. And I was thinking, this is kind of what Mark does. Like, this is kind of like how Mark lives his life through the week. And I was like, I need to do this. And then like it gave me that confidence. When I started getting results for girls, and when I was hearing all of the feedback, it gave me that confidence.
Yeah, and then what happened in COVID is we just saw a gap. It was like, right, people don't have a lot of money. People want something to get their mindset in the right place. And this is where we created our first kind of like fitness challenge together, which was 8-week lean. Love it to this day. We don't do it anymore, but it was perfect for that part of our lives. We brought us together. It brought so many people together, hundreds of girls, hundreds of boys. In a fun fat loss challenge. We won't do it now because we know we want long-term results, but at that point when people needed help, it was great, and people still want it now, but obviously they've got to understand that we did it for a certain reason back then. So this is when we put our heads together and built this thing together, and people bought into us then. I think that was the first real thing where people go, right, this is a double act kind of thing, isn't it?
Have you found that transition hard from going like, oh, I just provide a service to a client, to now almost like you two are a face of something, and now people are like expecting that? Like, I'll be honest, I look at your stuff and think they always look so polished. I hate them, right? But in the best way, right?
Yeah.
But now you've become that to other people. Is it like, do you thrive in the pressure of it, or is it something that you don't think of, or
I think that's like an interesting question, because like it's not that we've become these kind of people. No. Like, this is our lifestyle. Like, what we show on our socials is who we actually are. This is how we live our lives. Like, you know, we promote the lifestyle.
Go back to before you had this, when you were like creating all of this? Like this whole, like you obviously went into lockdown, you started the thing off. Like, was it weird to take that shift into like, now we need to show, I mean, obviously COVID, you couldn't really show your life too much other than obviously like training every day, but like then becoming that where it was almost like people needed to not just see a transformation, but they needed to see the lifestyle that you live, so then they connected with it.
This is the thing now. So people say to us about this, but I've just put my, like, it was yesterday was like my 2000th post on Instagram or whatever. From day one, this is just the way I've done things, and I've been in the industry a long time. I've done 15 years in the fitness industry, so all these changes that people are making and whatever, I did it 10, 12 years ago. I just put a post on today that was from 9 years ago when I was trying, the keto diet, the low fat. I've done all the mistakes, I've done all that. So what I'm portraying now, what I'm showing now is just like what I know. Like it's not, we're not trying to force anything like people say about your real life. Like we'll show everything about our real life. There's nothing that we don't really show, to be honest. And we just want people to understand that this is why we create lifestyle. This is why it's called Lifestyle Lean, because it's our lives and we're not trying to sell anything. I think hopefully people do understand that. People,
it's just our lifestyle, isn't it?
And they want that, and that's all we're trying to show. We're not trying to sell. We're trying to show people what it can be like.
Yeah.
Is that obviously meeting a load of your clients and obviously seeing the transformations and stuff? How does it feel to be in contact with so many lives?
I mean, it's we the way that we've built the program now. I think I want to flip that, because it's the way that we help people's lives, kind of thing. Like, we're not obviously involved in their lives. Like the way that we do things, we do know about, and we do know about the families. We know about the big concerns, about the goals, about the history, etc. But it's more how we change their lives, which is the main thing for us. So seeing all these guys and girls progress in life, not just in body composition. So I'm sure we're going to speak about this, but like, we're in it for the deep level. We're in it for the how are these guys going to live the most amazing lives through, obviously, the body's the driver. So that's what we look at, the impact we're having on. Jess takes the girls, I take the guys, and that's what we look at. Not so much we know everyone's single life. We know what we need to know, but the main thing we want out of it is the result, which is not only the transformation, but all the life transformation as well.
So it's like, for us, it's like a privilege to be able to, coach someone from that low confidence to being their confident true self, to go and get that promotion, or walk down the aisle feeling proud. Like, this for us is a privilege that we get to do that.
It is crazy when you first start thinking about it, like, oh, actually I want to help people, like just give them a bit of guidance, like here's some food knowledge, here's some like training knowledge and so on, and all of a sudden you're going, oh, you just got a promotion at work, like and without sounding like a dick move about it, you're like, oh, that could be a 10 grand promotion, and you just think, wow, they're actually just telling me that because that's just part of the journey that they're on, and they feel connected, so that they want to share it with you, because it's like, not only do I look great now, but my kids are better off.
100%. The body, but this is a massive thing for us, and it's a weird one, because we've got to sell it as, or like market it in the opposite way, because a lot of people won't get bought in by that, whereas we know how much this is going to affect their lives, but we have got to talk about six-pack and nutrition first of all. We've got to go, because that's what buys them in, that's what's like, right, they think they want that, and of course everyone's going to feel better with that, but they don't care about that when they've got it. They care about, actually, I'm in this structure now where anything can come at me. Boss can come at me, wife can come at me, family can come at me, kids can come at me. I'm fine, I know my structure. I've got a perfect lifestyle that I like, and it doesn't matter, and that's what we're trying to build, this bulletproof body, bulletproof mindset, where they can take on anything in life.
How is it running a business together, living together?
Cool.
It's tough.
What's the hardest bit for you guys?
I think the hardest bit is because we're both so passionate about what we're doing, and we both have this really big vision for what we're building together, is that it's hard to actually have time when we're not talking about that, and we're not having actual downtime together as a couple. We find that is more of a challenge. So even when we get these trips away, like we have had this weekend, it's been really nice for us to just have a little bit of time away from the standard structure, to be able to be more of a couple.
I hear some forfeits coming in, just in case it's like, right, okay, we talk about work, there's a forfeit coming.
That could be good, but
the thing is, that doesn't really happen, because we're both so passionate about it is that we both want to keep talking about it. So that doesn't actually even happen where we say, no, don't talk about it in these times, because we both actually want to speak about it.
I think it's that hard thing, isn't it? Because as a couple, you love what you do, but also you then sometimes have to cut off and go, yeah, but we are a couple.
Yeah.
Like it can't just be like fitness related.
No,
like we have to have a life.
Yeah,
like we have
to. And it's also weird because our life is going to the gym, eating good food. And when I say life, like even went out for last night for food and a wine, etc. That is part of our life, so it's still part of our lifestyle, which is still part of our brand. So it's like, we never really don't be the brand, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's definitely for us is number one. I would say is forcing time, like booking it out in the calendar. So yesterday was Sunday, Hyde Park, 5 hours. We're not doing anything but walking and talking and whatever. No phones, nothing, whatever. And I think the other thing is just because it's even though it's a separate business. Sorry, it's two separate businesses, but under one umbrella with Lifestyle Lean. I might have like a great day of everyone's doing well and the guys are okay, and then Jess might have there's been so many issues today and a lot of girls who need a little bit more help, etc. Which is fine. It's part and parcel of the business, but it's either I'm having a good day, bad day, or you're having a good day, bad day. It'll never really be like perfect today, because that's just business. So we're both kind of dealing with each other's problems as well, aren't we?
I find that when I go home, like I could have had a day where it's like been mega, like I've made some sales, like helped people. I go home, my wife's looking at me going, the kids are driving me mental. And I'm suddenly like, I won't share that I've had a good day. I'll keep that a little bit quiet. I know it's been a good day, but I'll be the uplifting one. But then the other times where you're like, right, like life's been hard, I go home, my little boy just comes and goes, Daddy! And I'm like, there we go, problem solved.
100%.
I think it's hard because when the other one's having that, you're like, oh, why am I not having it? But also then the counteraction of that is like, if you're having a bad day, then you can bounce off of it and go, yeah, but look what we're doing. Like,
that, what? I think that has helped us as well. So like, I think that's pushed us. And if I'm having business issues or questions or whatever, and you obviously take time to speak about it, and it's the vice versa. So we do help each other out. We do push each other. But I think that's why we're moving forward consistently, just because we're never stuck, if that makes sense. We're always helping each other, and there's always someone to bounce ideas off. So that's what I would say is the second main thing, which is just don't, if you're having a good time, don't over celebrate it. If you're having a bad time, don't worry, because it won't be as bad for a while.
It's crazy because you almost want to keep that like mellow happiness. It's always like, it's okay, I'm not going to go and shout about it just in case you're having a tough time, but also at the same time you're like, oh, we just had that like mega. Have you found, as like obviously things have grown and you've had more like pressures put at you, is it making you try and think bigger about the long-term picture
Massively.
of it?
Yeah, this is it now. So we have no issue saying it. We want to be CEOs. We want to be the big business. We want to help a lot of people. And this doesn't mean just making more money, whatever. We want to help as many people as possible, and to do that, we need more coaches. We need more team. We need to set back. We need to be a business owner and not just coaches. I've coached for 15 years now. We still want to have the amazing service, the best results, because we think we get the best results. But ultimately, we now need to look at it as a business and numbers, and is it growing, and can we build our brand, and not just helping a certain person out on Monday, if that makes sense. I'd rather get 10 people in and help them out, as long as it's the right amount of help and they're still getting the result. That's the main thing. But yes, we're now looking at things as, it's not that big an idea, because if you just zone in on that, it feels like the world. Just like when we're working, if you're on your laptop for 6 hours, it feels like the world, that your business is the world. Then you step outside, you actually, it's okay. The world's still moving, the birds are still tweeting, things are okay. But when you're in your business, you're in your business. So it's making us think of the bigger picture of, aim to think like a CEO, because we want to be in a position to actually look at things and going, there's no crazy huge issues. There's just little speed bumps, and if there's a speed bump, we just nip it in the bud and learn from it and move forward.
It's also, I suppose, it's trying to take that angle of like, this isn't stopping us. This is just something we need to learn and adjust to, isn't it? As you keep growing, otherwise you do and then just stop. And that's what I found a lot of people that come to me, because they get a bump and they've not seen it in the progression sense. They've just gone, oh, that's it. And then it's almost like, oh, I can't talk on video. And like, of course you can talk on video. Like, just point the camera over that way, but slightly angle it at you, and you can talk on video. And then all of a sudden you go, oh, now that's taken out of the way. Oh, hang on, we can do more. And then you suddenly see that. Do you guys try and actually go to different places to have that change of view?
Like we'll try and like have each week, like some kind of downtime where we just go and step back. It's something that we find difficult to book in because there's always something to do, because obviously it's not just the coaching that we have, it's the clothing business as well, the athleisure. So there's always something that needs to be done. But we do try and make it at least like a Sunday where we, have some time just to really sit back and, look at the week, plan the week ahead, and also get out for our kind of home comforts.
Yeah,
and
it sounds
go for like a long walk and just really visualize things in our mind, because what we realize is when you're always in the business, you can't really think properly. Like you just can't open your mind. You're just so sucked into it. So it's massive, like having that downtime, having time away from your home environment to actually be able to think more clearly.
Yeah, it sounds really weird, but obviously we tell this to all the guys and girls in the program. But you need to book in your fun. You need to book in your fun. The more structure you have, the more fun you can have. It sounds like the opposite of what people think. But you'll never just turn up and go, we've got a free Sunday. We're going to go for a nice trip somewhere. It's next Sunday we're doing this till this time, but we are switched off at that time. And it sounds again really strange, but it does need to be done, especially when you run a business together. And like Jess was saying then, like your ideas will flow as soon as you switch off. I get the most ideas in the world when I'm on a plane when there's no Wi-Fi. I love it. 4 or 5 hours. Get my notes are full. Notes are full. Like, and I'm still switching off and put music on. But like that's when you actually, as I said in the last question, you think like a CEO. You think as a business. You think like how can we build this brand instead of being issue result.
Yeah. I also used to find that I'd go shopping with my wife just so I could look at from a photography point of view. I'd look at then the pictures they were putting up on the wall to then see what other people were doing, to think of other ideas. So she'd go, we're going shopping, I had some time together, and I'd be like, I'm kind of thinking bigger than this. I couldn't care what you're going to buy. Like, as long as you're happy, you go and do it. But is that like change? We're off to Dubai on Sunday. Just for a change of scenery, just to like switch things up a little bit. Like obviously we had the little one 12 weeks ago. Just have that clear space to just think a bit bigger, and then you come back and you go like, it's such a small amount of time. Even like the Sundays for you guys, like it doesn't feel like at the time you think, we're going to take 5-6 hours off and not do anything. You're like, are we bad people? And then you go like, but if we think of that next big idea and help more people, that's what we're doing this for.
We've been down to London now for 3 nights, right? And we're going back flying now. We're going back literally like, oh my God, this idea, this. And
you got to think of it like the opposite of when you don't do that. Like when we've had weeks where we've not done that, like all it's led to is that we've just become very burnt out. Like we've not been able to think clearly. Every issue feels like a massive problem, and you're just in a place where you become a bit of like, you can't think. You just can't think.
Yeah, it's just a circle.
Yeah.
It's just,
and also then that's when it creeps into a relationship, because then you're like bickering at people and you're like, hang on,
snappy. This is
and it's easy to do that, and you almost need that reminder. Actually, we are in love. We're meant to enjoy this.
Yeah,
it's that's the thing. I think we're not struggling with. I think it's just like the balance of going.
It's learning, isn't it? It's just learning.
Of like, and again, this is the deep question, which I'm sure you speak to everyone about. But it's like, do you push business and try and be the biggest business leader in the world and go all at it because everyone says you've got to go all at it to, and say no to occasion and this and that to build this ultimate brand? Or do you enjoy it as you go because all you're going to try and do is build this brand to enjoy it anyway? So it's that for us, isn't it? Where it's like we'd rather be option two.
We've had a lot of times where it's been option one, where we've not gone to socials. Like really for us, like through lockdown, COVID, that was a time where we just got our heads down. That's really where we built our business. That amazing summer, we didn't see much of it. We weren't really out in the sunshine. We were just building our business. And we did, through those times, not... Obviously, no one got to really be social through that, but we didn't...
we just made the most of it.
We didn't really Netflix
it's
things.
Like looking at opportunities, isn't it? It's like, hang on, we've got an opportunity.
We were just working. And I remember, like, days and days just working on the laptop all day while people were outside in the sun. We were just working.
You might know, we was in Dubai for 3 months because we got locked over there. We didn't. We worked every single day. We didn't drink for 3 months. We were there for 3 months. Didn't drink. Didn't go to any nightclubs. Didn't do any of that. We worked and worked and worked. And I remember getting to it was like we're trying to catch the last hour of the sun every day, weren't we?
Yeah.
Like work 4 till 5 p.m. Like try and get outside, and then it was just like that every single day.
Get to it really.
But obviously, we did go out now and again, but
so we feel like we had that time of really like, working so hard and not really like having much of a balance. And I feel like recently we've been working a lot better on getting that balance.
Yeah.
But I think also then if you two know that you're happy, you then want to do more because you're like, oh, this is good. Like when it is crap, you like you know how crap it can be, and you're like, right, well, let's counteract that with when we can make it good. Let's just go and make it really good, because then when we know it's shit, it's like, you're right, okay, well, we did the hard work when we needed to, not like, oh, we should have done it.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
it's the same with you and the missus. Like, I think the main thing with any couple is you both need to know where you both want to go. The main thing is the vision, right? We both know. You could go outside. I could draw something down. You could draw with the goals down. It's exactly the same goals. We know where we want to get to, so we understand. Actually, I'm working till 9 p.m. tonight, but it's okay. But that's okay now and again, because we've got a Sunday, or we've got whatever, and the longer vision is this. So we know sometimes it's going to be like that.
That is so important, isn't it? Like, actually, just as a like, if you are a couple with a business together, it's actually about you both being so clear on where you are working towards and what is that success to you, and
why it means something to them as well.
Yeah. So like what we've done is literally like map out like our next, couple of years as to where we want the business to be, and what success looks like for both of us as a business, and that's why we're so passionate about it. That's why we speak about it all the time, because we know what we're working to. It's
like having that clarity, isn't it? It's just like we know where we're heading.
Yeah.
And I suppose also like you two are in a stage where if there is ever to be a little Rosses in the world, you kind of want to get this. Like, that's, I think, one of the things I admitted recently was that I've almost had to play catch up, because I wish I'd been in this position before my children were born to spend more time with them. And so then when I see people that are like pushing it, and I'm like, right, okay, the first question I ask is like, do you want to have children? If you do, let's go all in. Let's get this person out of you, because then when they do come along, I'd rather you two go, but we now do cut off at 6 p.m. because we're going to be present. Our children aren't going to be here and off to daycare you go and I'm never seeing you. Like, because then you understand it a little bit more, that long run. Whereas people, if they're not quite sure, I often say to them, is it because you haven't found yourself yet?
Yeah.
If you don't, like, you two really know yourselves quite well, you know what ticks, and you're like, right, we know what's happening. Obviously, if that is going to happen, then you kind of like, you're already like, well, we went all in. Whatever the outcome is the outcome.
It's that, and we're doing that at the moment. And we do know, and obviously this is in the plan. I know you can't plan everything, but ideally, we know what we want to do and when we want to do it, kind of thing. But again, with you, like, there's no point comparing, because it's your life, it's whatever. And same with clients who come on board, like, they're looking at others going, but they've had a running start, or they're not, they're not good kids, or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just the way it is. Like, just deal with what you deal with, and move forward with it.
And I suppose once you have that vision, then now you can move forward. It's like, we know where we're heading. You're all probably going at 10, 20 times more than what you would do. And obviously, like, we're in a community where you jump on a call and you're thinking, right, everyone else in here is pulling their finger out, like, I'm not going to be stood behind. Yeah. But then also, then when you do take that break, it's like, no, let's just take 2 seconds. What have we achieved since we last went on? Yeah, we're doing good. Like, we can enjoy this. Yeah. Be present again, and you go back into it. Like, right.
Yeah. Here we go again. I think if you weren't doing well, then you wouldn't really enjoy the breaks. But I think as long as you go hell for leather and you're doing things right, you're taking it off, and then you've earned the break, kind of thing.
Yeah, massively.
What's next for you guys?
Well,
obviously, you launched. When did you launch the clothing?
So clothing was in August 2022. Yeah, so it's been about 7-8 months now. Yeah, and it's an extension of everything that we do. We really believe that what people listen to, watch, eat, environment dictates success. We say it a lot of times. Where is who you are, and kind of like the persona that you are. So we brought the clothing out. When we first met, again, I didn't know this. Jess was doing her own.
Yeah. So before we met, when I was in my office job, I had always wanted to have my own clothing business. And back then, I was wanting to do athleisure, wanting to do sports bras and leggings, and I was creating it back then, doing all the designs, and it got to a place where I was getting samples in, and I wanted to really go for it then, but I couldn't get the right manufacturers. I couldn't get anyone reliable enough, the good enough quality. So at that point, I decided to let it take a step back and then focus more on the coaching. But it was always something that I wanted to do, and I wanted to bring this to the level when I would get the right time to do it. And then, you know, what we found is that obviously we've got the coaching, we've got all the clients that, you know, transformed, and, you know, they are in a place where they're feeling confident. But what we want to have now is clothes that actually make them feel confident too, and part of the whole picture. So, you know, what we decided to do was actually bring this back, and you always wanted to kind of do something too on the
always
side.
Been addicted to anything fitness really, but fitness clothes was a big thing for me. I've been in the tailors with, I think my mum got me into it, tailoring clothing since I was a kid, and how it makes you feel and how it can make you feel more confident, and the way that you know, the way that you feel, you look better, you feel better, kind of thing, you perform better. So it's all very intertwined kind of thing. It's not like, you know, it's even though it's coaching's there and clothing's there. You know, our clients are wearing the clothing, they're transformed, they're now pushing themselves in business, they're feeling amazing, they're wearing active wear, like smart active wear every day, which makes them be more active. So that was our kind of like thoughts on things, and we were really excited to push that side of things and build a brand. Really, that's what we're looking to do, is build a brand that everyone knows, that can, you know...
We want to be that brand that you can just rely on for, like, having that active lifestyle. What we struggle with is, you know, as a couple that like love fitness and like it's our life, like we always found that we were frustrated with brands that we would shop with, and we never really found there was something that was right for the, you know, active, on the go girl and like business
professionals as well.
Business professionals, like we felt that things out there would be almost kind of more trend focused, or not fit right, or very expensive, and we wanted to be that brand that it just is the reliable brand to come to for someone who is active, who needs clothing as part of their lifestyle to train in, to be active, going around, living life. And that's why we created it.
It's also amazing when people like really dig into that stuff and they actually start, obviously they sign up with you and because they want that transformation, but with the brand and everything behind it, it's that like, wow, we don't realise how many things do intertwine. And when you do have that, like, you know, we've all had success and stuff, and it's like you suddenly go, wow, you realise how all these little bits are quite important. At the start, most of it, you just overlook it. You focus on one thing, aren't you? Like, most people come to you for abs or like the best bum or whatever it is. Like, then all of a sudden it's like, wow, now I can actually focus on all these things. And I think that's what a weight loss transformation typically helps people. Like, you kind of focus on that, whether it's the number on the scales or like the waist size or abs or whatever it is. And then you suddenly go, now I've achieved that.
So there's two things. Absolutely. There's two things that we have with the guys, and some guys, when we first have the first initial call, I can kind of know that they've started doing a bit of personal development anyway, and they're kind of like, I can see them pushing themselves, because you normally get the guys on the edge a little bit who's starting to think what else can they achieve in life, and that's when we fall into our bracket and we help them out. But we always focus on the transformation first. That gives them so much bandwidth on their own to focus on their business. I tell them this, I say, listen, your life is not fitness. Your life is whatever, you know, business, solicitor, law, whatever it may be. You need to focus on that and give it absolutely everything if you want to perform the best and level up in there. Leave the nutrition, leave the steps, leave the training, leave that to us. You do not need to know about thinking about tracking calories or what to do. That is our job, right? So all you're investing in is a better future for you, and we want to see you level up your life. So that's number one thing, is bandwidth to do exactly what they want to do. And the next thing is the challenge, which you said, which is you know, how to build confidence. The only main thing of building confidence is challenging yourself, but completing that challenge, right? Where a lot of guys will go, I'm going to lose a few pounds, and they don't do it, which means a negative feedback loop. Which means the confidence goes lower and lower and lower. What we do is set goals that they can hit, and they definitely will hit. So it's confidence. You match that confidence with the bandwidth, and that's when it's a new life for these guys and girls.
And one of the greatest things for me is that, like, tying in the clothing with everything here, is that, like, I will get girls come to me and they say, you know, I've never had the confidence to, like, wear a sports bra. I'd never ever do that. I'd never go to a gym and just wear a sports bra. I'd never go and wear shorts. It's something I've never done in my life. And when I see that complete 180 of their transformation, where they've, you know, lost that weight, they've started to see the definition for the first time in their lives, they're feeling lean in their bodies, and then actually challenging themselves to, you know, go and do into the gym and wear those sports bras or wear the shorts, or even come to a photo shoot and wear those items. Like, for me, it's just absolutely incredible to see that. And these girls have transformed their bodies and their confidence in a way that they never thought they would. And that's why, you know, when I see the girls there wearing the sports bras with the backs out and feeling confident, it's just, that's amazing. And I guess that maybe ties back into me, because I probably didn't feel like that when I first started into my fitness journey. And to see a girl that I've helped achieve that, there's no like greater satisfaction for me.
It's, I suppose, like going back to just before you started obviously doing the fitness side of things, and it's like you almost have this vision of like, wow, I wish I could feel like that. And now all of a sudden, not that you've physically gone and done every workout for the meeting the calories, but now they're wearing your clothing, they've got your confidence, they've got their own abilities, and then they've put it all into one thing. And it's like, you take that moment back and go, wow, I've created this, but actually like now all these people out there are just thriving to be themselves.
That's it.
Out of interest, Mark, have you ever struggled with any, like had any big adversity to like come out? Because I know Jess.
We spoke about this last night. Absolutely, which is really, really interesting. And I need to start talking more about it. Like, I'm not going to say, you know, my life was hell and I had these massive issues, but ultimately, like, I was the same as anyone else. I remember, I was like conscious about my body. I had body fat. I always played football, but you know, you don't have to be 10 out of 10 physique to play football. Like, I was always strong and fit and played just like every other lad did. But I remember being really conscious about my body around about 16, 17, 18, 19, something around about there, around about, you know, just past puberty kind of thing. And I had body fat, I had man boobs, and I remember this. I remember going out on every football night out trying to cover them up. You know, gynecomastia, which is breast tissue, and I didn't realise last night that 70% of guys actually have it going through. And I remember going into the gym, which was like a Virgin Active near me, and speaking to, obviously I was, you know, a young kid, and I was speaking to the trainer who didn't know anything because they didn't give me a good reply. I was like, does rowing help body fat loss? Because I remember that, I didn't want to ask, I was scared. Does rowing help body fat loss? Because I think I had my first lad's holiday or something like that in my chest. And, you know, they were like, yeah, of course. Obviously, this is probably why I wanted to be a good trainer after this. So anyway, it was my kind of mission from then to drop body fat in the best way possible. So this is when I started really learning. And I would go to seminars across the country. I would pay lots of money. I would pay for courses, for ebooks, for go and meet a coach, go and pay an hour for a coach's time. So I think that's probably what kind of like started me off. I was obviously a guy anyway. I always wanted to look good for lads' holidays and impress girls at that time, whatever. But that was the main thing for me, and I remember it lasted quite a long time. I was really conscious. But then I got my body. I learned how I could control my body, and I could look however I wanted to look, bigger, smaller, leaner, more muscular. And then I went to America, and they're just sports mad. So they was like just kind of like 10x everything. And that's when I came back. I was like, right, I'm getting all my qualifications. I'm doing everything. So yeah, from that point onwards, I just really wanted to help guys fully understand the simple way. Because I wasn't a clever kid. I'm not a clever kid now. I just like to break things down in simple ways, and that's what a lot of my clients want. They want simplicity. They want results. So that's what we've built everything on.
Especially also when you're working with like high-end individuals, they haven't got the time to overthink things. Yeah. And like you guys are busy, like I'm busy. Like you just want the simplest, like just keep it, like just tell me what I need to know and that's it.
Yeah, they think they know. They think they want to know. They think, oh, I want to know everything to do. Yeah. And then I start educating them, and like, actually,
just tell me the basics. Just tell me basics.
Just tell me how to get fit. Have a six-pack.
What calories do I need, and where do I train, and that's it.
Still have a wine with my wife. Still enjoy the odd holiday here now and again, and have a six-pack. I'm like, cool. Right, like, now we know. Let's just do that.
But also, it's nice when people do get interested in it, because it's probably the old you to like kind of going, oh, actually, this is really interesting. Like, and part of you wants to share that knowledge. You're like, I've learned something. I was thick before. Now I've learned something. I want to pass it on to you. And like when the people do get inspired, and I'm sure you probably had people that have worked with you that have gone on to be coaches and stuff, because you're just like, you can share that knowledge and something you learned and think, oh, I learned that 10 years ago. Like I might not have heard it. And then all of a sudden you're just like, oh, I really want to learn about it. I want to learn more. I'm intrigued. What one question you've got for me?
Question for you.
Oh, to ask you, sorry, buddy.
Yeah, throw you a curveball.
Okay, one question for Ben.
You've got to work with me a couple of times.
What's that, sorry?
You've got to work with me a couple of times. You've got to see.
Yeah. All right. What's the biggest thing you want to achieve with anyone that crosses your path, be it photography, be it you know, the new business that we're working on now, like what's the main thing that you want people to know, you know, that's going to affect their lives in the biggest way?
I think understanding of how simple it can be to get yourself to a place where you can like not only thrive, but like just feel like you're in control of everything and you've got options. I think most of us have gone through life when you've had those times where you feel like stuck or so on, and it's a lot of people when I'm on photo shoots, I'm the first person that's paid them a compliment. Even though their coach has been working for them, like I've just met them like there and then. And with this new program that I've built, like start talking about people. So if I spoke to you two and go like, you get people promotions, they suddenly look good. Like there's probably females out there that are being more open with their partner again, like because they just feel confident again and they feel attractive. So it's unlocking those things in people so they can actually have those good things in life. For me, like when people message me, go, I've actually reconnected with my partner and my business has grown and I've dropped a bit of weight. And I'm like, not that I'm coaching them to lose weight, but it's like they've just said, I've just got my head back in the game.
Yeah.
One of my best mates went through quite a big transformation recently and he's lost like 2 stone, not with a coach, just training with me in the morning and get himself moving. His business is better. He's now taking his kids on holiday for the first time. And I was like, it was all just through talking. And so having that thing where my experiences and my knowledge, and then also because a lot of the fitness industry, especially like coaches and stuff, there's, from what I've met, a lot of them haven't got kids. I realise I'm in that stage where like I'm almost like a slight role model, but at the same time, like an example of like, okay, you can do these things and have kids. Yes, it's tough. Yeah. Also, I know that when the time happens, I'm gonna get a message going, dude, like, how do you think about this? Like, and often it's you like you two probably know from being in the power room, it's not necessarily the thing that they put in front of you. You'll just understand like the thinking behind it. Once you understand the thinking, you go, right, now I can do that. I can just go, why do you think that? And so I don't take any judgment over the fact that I work quite hard. I'm okay with that because I know that I want them to have like ultimate security. And I think that's what I want to help people have. It's like that security in women, that they feel safe, they feel comfortable. And if they want to have children, like you need to be relaxed, you need to be calm. And then, but also if you run a business, you want to know, how can I do both so I don't feel like I mess this up, but also be a present mum. Also as a dad, you're going to go, I want to provide because that's the first thing I did. But also at the same time, you just being present even for an hour a day like means the world. And like, so I think a lot of people do get very scared and nervous about all of that stuff. And after going through it, and me and my wife had a few complications after like just falling pregnant, it was okay, like now I understand it. Not really many people are open about it. And so being able to do that whilst running businesses and show people they can do it just takes the thinking away. And then it's like, now you can just focus on being you and do what you do best. And there's so many good things about people that they just never... And also like you two probably wouldn't know the impact you actually have on the people around you unless you actually go, guys, like we did a thing recently, we said like, you can do this later on and you'll message me later, go, thanks, my confidence gone through the roof. I said, message your clients in the group chat and say, what's 3 words you describe our brand and business to your best friend? And honestly, the amount of them go back, like, I didn't realise how much of an inspiration I was to people, like reliable, like progressive inspiration, like and all these other words, and they're sitting there going, I didn't believe I was that. But you never take the chance, because like you two, you're so busy head down doing all these things, and then it's like taking that bigger approach and looking at the bigger picture. You unlock so many more things. You go, wow, actually, if we do more of these couple things together, we inspire people because they want to have that relationship where they go and enjoy a couple's night. You can wear like not revealing, but like kind of show off clothes, and you feel confident in it. It's not like you're walking around trying to get attention. You just go, I can be me. You know, you can be. You've always got your top off at Barry somewhere. Like you see Mark looking good. I'm sitting there going, damn, he's always shredded. Like I want to be like that. And so you don't. A lot of people don't realise how much of an inspiration they are to other people. And I think when you give them that vision of it and then help them see the bigger picture of like, okay, if you are going to have children, this is what it's going to be like. If you've already got children, it's probably simplifying the process to make it easy.
I think a big one is obviously when we speak together, and we connected last night, we had a deep conversation, didn't we? But I think for you, like you were saying then, it's people just being having someone to reach out to. Just honestly, the best thing is someone on your side. Someone on your side, like, who actually gets it. You know, so I understand some couples, you know, they might not have the same wants or needs, and that's fine as long as they're a family and they have long-term vision. But let's say, for example, the female wants to push career or push fitness, and they have someone like you know, helping them do that, or someone to reach out to and talk to. I just think that's the biggest mindset shift that a lot of people don't have. People that are doing a lot of things on their own when don't
And
need to do
struggling
that.
on
Like
their own,
I've always
yeah.
had mentors, I've always had people
Yeah.
to speak to, just because I want to get to where I want to get to in life in the fastest way possible, and I know I always want a hand getting there. It's always, you know, I'm the tough one. I'm going to do it on my own. That's a slow way of doing things.
Yeah.
And also, it's changing that opinion of like, it's not sitting there going, I'm stupid, but actually, if people have got the knowledge on it, why wouldn't I go and get it? Like, because then I can get to where I want to get to and actually enjoy life. Whereas a lot of people just go, oh, it can't be me, it shouldn't be me. Like, I'm sure there's people that are going to watch your content and go, I wish I could be as good as them. And then they're scared to reach out. And all you're saying to me is like, we've got all this knowledge, we've spent thousands of hours, pounds,
Yeah.
whatever.
Hey, I did this, right? Spent 15 years, 50k on education, right? And bundling it all up and going, get in the program, get out as fast as possible, like get the result and go and live your life kind of thing. Like, I don't care. Like, I just want you to not waste time anymore.
It's something that with our program, how we built it is that we wish we had this like
so
for
I built it.
ourselves 10, 15 years ago, because it wouldn't have taken us so long to understand and get to where we are now with our bodies and our business.
We've had clients literally.
If we'd had this back then.
Yeah, we've had clients literally go, I've transformed more in 12 weeks and 12 years.
Yeah.
Like literally, like that's what they say. Like you've had Vern who's transformed kind of thing. And I just want people to understand that you're investing in yourself to be fitter, stronger, better businessman, better husband. Everything, it's an investment. You're not paying, right? You invest in something. You're investing in a better version of you.
Yeah.
That's what people.
I think when you also change that narrative, instead of, oh, this is the cost, it's like when you go, oh no, this is just for me to learn. People then go, oh right, actually that feels less pressure. Like whatever the cost of it is, like obviously, you know, we've both invested a lot of money in coaches. I don't think of it as a cost. I'm thinking of it, but I've got access to knowledge. That's all I need. I need someone to reach out to and go, hey, I'm struggling with this. Have you got any? And they go, oh, if you've not done that, you go, of course. And then you just go, right, that's what I pay for. Just to cut the weight in half.
And this
isn't
is the thing, right? What people don't realise when you see these, whoever it is, big business leaders, these big people who have the massive podcasts, whatever, they've got mentors. Everyone's got mentors, right? The big dogs have got mentors, kind of thing. I've got 4 coaches at the moment, right? I've not have time to waste. Health, bloods, finance, confidence, training. Like it doesn't. I want to just be told. Like again, I'm the same as my clients. I want to be told to get where I want to get to, kind of thing.
And I think we've had that because we've realised about how long it can take, or the fact you may never even get there if you actually don't have that coach or that mentor. Because for us, where we've got to now has been because of mentors that have helped us get here. Obviously, a lot of it has been self-taught, but we've also had a lot of help from mentors too. I almost feel that it's a massive shame for anyone who hasn't had a mentor before, because they don't know really where they can be. And really, the only person that loses out is you if you don't go and get a mentor.
Also, as well, like it's easy for online coaches. I know you guys still go out and do like Barry's and stuff, but if you were literally just online coaches and you just welded to your desk all day long, that community of just sometimes having people to bump shoulders with, ask questions, all those types of things, all of a sudden makes you go, I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I'm not the only one feeling like this. And this is what I've had in my group this morning. Like I said, what's been the best thing? And they said, just knowing that there's someone else like me.
Yeah.
And they suddenly go, to be honest with you, the rest of it's brilliant. But like actually just being around, when we were in Dublin, it was just like, you're just around people that are like, we all understand each other. We've all got the similar type of, we want to progress, and we've all got different lives, but you're not alone in it. Whereas it's easy, as you see with online coach, you could be tap, 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 and then you never look up and go, oh shit, I haven't left the house in 4 days.
We had our meet-up yesterday. We have meet-ups every quarter, and this was a London meet-up. That's why we're down here for the trip kind of thing. And these guys had never met each other, but they're all now got WhatsApp groups together because they've actually realised, oh my God, so I'm not the only dad who's got issues, who's got a struggle, who can't sleep, who whatever, who wants to get body fat. No, of course you're not. Like, don't worry. Like there's thousands of others. But and you'll get even better results when you are around these people.
When you're in the right network. Yeah, with others that are ahead of you as well. When you can actually learn from those people. Yeah. That's going to be the fastest way for you to level up in both your body and your businesses.
Amazing. Leave the listeners with one bit of advice, both of you each. Just one amazing bit of advice that you could hand out to people.
It's going to be so cliche, this one, right? It's a lifestyle, okay? So everything you want to achieve is achievable, and it's a sliding scale of super focused, super strict, getting fast results, just like when we say, right, when we're doing business work, you get everything, you get fast results, but you can also have balance and get exactly where you want to get to. So number one is that you can achieve anything that you want. Anyone can achieve anything that you want. If it's been done, you can do it. And number two is that you can do it in either a strict, fast way, which is fine, or you can achieve a balanced way and involve everything in your life. So don't put like a stopper on thinking that you can't get there just because you've got a lifestyle to you.
Okay. For me, it would be about focusing on your body first. I think that this is so important because if you are in a place where you're not happy in how your physique looks, if you're not confident in how your body is, and if you want to work on it, then you really do need to focus on that, because that will be the driver to you starting to build confidence across your whole life. And that is the case for me. Like, that's where I was, and really focusing on who I wanted to be on my body and getting my body to a place where I was really confident with it, has then led me to really fly in my life, and obviously change career and, you know, completely flip what I was doing. So for me, it is really focus on the body first, and then you'll be in a place to take your life to new levels.
Amazing. Right. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And it's been a pleasure having you on. Just for any of them that anybody that haven't followed you out there, where do they find you?
So we have a coaching page on Instagram, which is lifestyle_lean. You can see what we do, transformations, testimonials, community, behind the scenes, etc. Obviously, we've got separate pages, Mark Ross_fitness and
Jessica Layla Ross.
yeah, yes. And then the athleisure page is lifestyle_lean.
I'm trying to remember all these.
Just been set up, yeah, we've got 4, lifestyle_lean, yeah.
Amazing. Right, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.